For modern kids, social media may seem like the most important way to connect with today's culture and their peers. But using social media can come with potential dangers, including increased risk of suicide. Suicide is the second leading cause of death in young people, and it's on the rise. National suicide rates for those between ages 10 and 24 increased an unprecedented 57.4% between 2007 and 2018. This increase happened as internet usage has skyrocketed, particularly use of social media. 7 reviewed studies have found a relationship between increased screen time and worsening mental health. Currently, children aged 8 to 10 spend about 6 hours a day in front of screens, which increases to 9 hours for kids aged 11 to 14. If your child is already depressed, spending a lot of time on the internet holds the possibility of negative rabbit holes driven by algorithms that push online content, which normalizes self-harm, discourages seeking help, and glorifies depression. Research from the last 10 years shows distinct connections between social media use and depression. A 2015 survey shows a connection between Facebook use, envy, and depression. A 2019 study found a correlation between checking Facebook late at night and feelings of depression and unhappiness. Worse, several studies have shown a connection between cyberbullying over social media and increased suicide risk. This non-traditional form of pure aggression can be challenging for adults to monitor, and even more difficult for children to deal with on their own. One study reported that cyberbullying can double a child's risk of committing suicide. If they don't get the proper treatment and support, children going through particularly challenging times can head down a path toward thinking about taking their own life, attempting suicide, or even the worst-case scenario, death by suicide. Circumstances that may increase the risk of suicide include changes in family life, like divorce, moving to a new town and going to a new school, losses such as the death of a parent or sibling, bullying, including cyberbullying, extreme stress like for a big test or college applications, a sense of failure in school or relationships, coping with their gender or sexuality identity in an unsupportive family, community, or school environment. Many warning signs associated with suicide are similar to symptoms of depression, although not all children who experience depression also have suicidal thoughts. However, there are certain warning signs that more clearly point toward a child being a suicide risk. Feelings of helplessness or being trapped, thinking that nothing will ever change or get better. References to hopelessness, guns, or death through music, writing, or drawing. Making statements like, not being here for very long, or I won't be a problem anymore. Comments about death or dying. Sudden changes in attitude, like becoming cheerful after a period of depression. Threatening self-harm or suicide even in jest. Giving away or getting rid of valuable possessions. Writing suicide notes, planning for ways to take their life, such as trying to find pills or a gun. Being aware of these warning signs can help prevent your child from becoming at risk for suicide. Heavy social media use might make that worse. Get engaged in your child's life. Watching for the signs and symptoms of depression and suicidal tendencies will help you know how your child is doing and when they may need help. Encourage them to get involved. Helping your child get involved with activities outside of school can benefit their mental and social health and will also help limit their time on the internet and social media without you having to set boundaries. Find balance. Take the time to explain healthy habits, like getting a good night's sleep, eating a balanced diet, getting regular exercise, and limiting time spent in front of screens and on social media. Monitor social media use. A study performed by the University of Pennsylvania in 2018 suggests that simply limiting time on social media leads to less unhappiness and depression. If you see any of the warning signs and suspect your child may be suicidal, you need to take it seriously. Even if your child claims to be only joking and not planning to act, Just considering suicide puts them at risk to one day follow through. If your child has expressed suicidal thoughts or has tried to commit suicide, they need immediate medical help, starting with a physical and mental evaluation. Don't hesitate to ask for support. Even though it may be difficult, speak openly and honestly with your child. Discuss how screen time can be isolating and how social media use can lead to anxiety and depression. Give your child the information to understand the dangers of cyberbullying and the unrealistic expectations created by social media. Remember, suicide is never anyone's fault. If you believe your child's social media use may have contributed to their depression or suicidal thoughts and behaviors, reach out to us. The Social Media Victims Law Center works to hold social media companies legally accountable for the harm they inflict on vulnerable users. You can fight back. Contact our team now for a free, confidential case evaluation.